Pirate's Crib. This is open mic. We're going to talk about the 901. We're going to talk about the raid, and we're also going to talk about BP next week, where it appears that we're going to get 2 new armors, and that'll be interesting. But let me go ahead and introduce everybody from top to bottom. One of the fan favorites is Kenny.
Hello, hello.
And Aussie.
Good morning, everybody.
Ben.
Hello.
Two Doors.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
See. And how is that different from yesterday?
It starts with a fry instead of a thurs.
Okay. Okay, but your view of your reality is not changed yesterday, though, right?
It's just a great big slog of despair.
Okay. Alrighty. And Stormcatcher.
Hello, hello.
Hello. So I put the link in the right-hand side again, in case anybody would like to join. I'll shuffle people in and out. But since we have it up, and who knows how the conversation about the raid and what happened with the 901s goes, let's go ahead and take a look at Battle Pirates next week. As expected, we're getting VXP Weekend, a new set of the October FM, 2 TLCs. We're going to get a new FM target, and we are going to get new Zynthium isotope armors. We assume the isotope M and CO armors, which is going to provide a little bit of decision making on whether you want to put those on your Praetorians right away, assuming that they fit as far as the missile ones, or do you put them on your Pegasus? And then on Friday we get a preview of our new assault tier 8.5 targets. So any thoughts on any of this, anybody?
Yeah, interesting line on the tier 8.5 assault targets.
Mm-hmm.
The VXP targets will be your first look for the new assault season targets. So no, which is better, Gale 4 or Sprint deal, guessing.
Well, Gale 4 probably
Might work.
MDS missile
Not
defense.
really.
No. I'm talking about how the previous season for the Siege.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully that's their plan, because if you listen to what some of the responses have been in the forum, their original idea was to have the Gale as the target of choice, but then somehow they messed that up, according to what's been written. They didn't say they messed it up, but that they said that was their original intention. Take that how you want.
But original intention to mess it up?
No, their intention was to have the Gale 4 to be the preferred one.
Do I need to send them a calculator? Because, I mean, I can just do that. I've got mine from my college days. It does binomials and binomial PDFs and CDFs pretty well. That's all you really need.
Okay. I'm not sure how that's related. Are you talking about the what happened with the Gale versus Sprint issue?
I mean, it's probably tweaking the evade on them, such that at some point the fact that you can attack multiple times with the Gale would overcome the fact that you could only shoot once at it with a Sprint. Maybe they could have coded in some sort of penalty to its evade after, like, if you think about a drone flying, after it dodges the first shot. If it goes in a somewhat predictable line, you'd be able to see where it went, and you'd be able to line up your shot a little easier in theory.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they had drones that are at about that intelligence level where they always dodge right, and then your second shot aims right and you hit. And what that would mean in game would be a hit into the player, obviously, accuracy bonus on your second and subsequent shots.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think when you take a look at the Gale 4 and compare it to the Sprint, the big difference there is the projectile speed. And I'm wondering, and always the theory I think that we developed through this was that the slower projectile speed of the Gale didn't allow it enough time to get a second shot off.
Wasn't the range a big deal too?
It was a
when you
combination
put the
of
correct specials on?
range and projectile speed. Getting the first shot off and then getting the second shot off before the UAV was able to hit you. So yeah, it was a combination range, but it was the inability to get a second shot off because both of range and projectile speed issues. So, anybody have any thoughts on the, I'm assuming that the new Zynthium isotope armors are going to be 5,000 for missile and 5,000 for corrosive. Anybody have any strategies on how they would, implement those?
It depends on what kind of CICs you want to put on, because each of those gives, I think, 13,000 survival to its appropriate type.
Mm-hmm.
So and this is going to have to be done with testing, but you're going to want to see based on your style what you're hit more by, and then you can focus based on corrosive or penetrative. I'm probably going to go 4 and 1, because there's always going to be some ship that's targeted more. Right now it's number 5. If that holds, let's assume that it does, have a 5th ship loaded up with countermeasures, because these kinds of countermeasures do increase your pen survival. Load that up with evade. Put the penetrative CIC on that. You could probably even have it kind of driving out just a little bit ahead to make sure it gets shot at first. That's going to be a little beneficial because of the range disparity in the two CICs. It's like a 14% swing. You keep that going up, and you have a little bit of corrosive.
Except for those are all auras. And so everybody's going to have this, all the ships are going to have the same range.
Oh.
But those are all the auras that are going to impact the ships. So they're not going to all have different ranges, or they're not going to have different combat speeds, because those are all aura related. My question was dealt with the Praetorians, because the Zynthium isotope armor for the missiles is also going to be highly valuable to put on your Praetorians. So that was more my questions, because I'm assuming 4 are going to be available. These are assumptions. 4 are going to be available of each. The Pegasus only has 2 armor slots. So there might be room to put it on the Praetorian, and have things left over, maybe even after week 1 or week 2. But the other issue is going to be refit times and we have an additional week that we didn't have last time for the first raid, that we might be able to sneak some of the new, assuming that they go on it, some of the new missile armor on the Praetorian. And I guess we'll see as things, if my assumptions are correct. So
I've just put the stats up for the Praetorian, not Praetorian, the Pegasus, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it only has 2 armor slots, which makes it a little tricky. It'll help you get it built faster, but yeah, it's.
What are the odds that they remember there was 2 ships in a lot of these raids in the past that they want us to build, because the CIC takes so long to change? That they want us to build 2 fleets of these, one built for the fleets, and you clear them out, and then you go back in and you do the turrets, or something awful like that.
Well, if you went, I did the numbers for, I forget what the names are, but if you went with one of them, you got like 49. Once you added all the,
There you go.
yeah, once you added all the specials together and the auras, you ended up with a range of 49.5 on your missiles, even with, missile extender plus 30. So I don't think they were intended to be built that way. I think they're intended to be built in concert with each other, because a lot of them cancel each other out. So
So it's sort of like when we had 3 of one CIC and 2 of the other, and
yeah, I think it's
that
more
one out.
likely to work out that way.
And then they secretly threw in the best CIC in the raid, and you had to get all 3. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because if you look at it like the combat speeds, they basically, I don't know. We'll get back to that if we want to talk about it, because I can send Aussie the slides where they're right next to each other so people can see. Let's get on to the 901 issue. What do people? I know a lot of people have a lot of points here that I assume were related to the 901. One of the issues, even though the people with the 901 got a lot of points, and the whole issue that you could go in, hit one building at the bottom, not take any damage, and get 260,000 points, created a huge disparity for people that knew about it and were able to get those points relative to other players that either didn't know about it or for some reason didn't participate in those things. They did get a lot of points. I bet a lot of them gave up on the raid afterwards, or like, the people that, well, they didn't give up. They just considered themselves done. Those players are going to be missing out on the shards for the new missile that's, the limited missile that's supposed to go along with the Pegasus, the bladed pinion. So for those that got a ton of points and didn't get a lot of these shards previously, you might want to keep on going along with the raid. But I do know that there's a lot of players out there that are disappointed that they don't have hundreds of millions of points because they didn't participate in this. And these targets are a little bit, they're a little bit wearing on your 5th ship, to put it mildly. I mean, I get 40 minutes on my my 5th ship, and then I get instant repair on my other 4. Even though on my 5th ship I have 4 ballistic panels and or plates, and the ballistic resistor, and then I have the spring countermeasures with the specials and whatnot. I'm not huge. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the way that the damage in the target is distributed, especially the 124.
Yeah, the 124. I autoed it for a baseline. I got an hour 44, and an hour and 2 minutes of that was on ship number 5. If I didn't have that ship at U3, I can imagine it would be just a sliver of health or completely dead, which would then hose my firepower because it was a ship with cannons on it, and my survivability with all the rest of the ships. So if they ever say that they don't tune to upgrades, they're lying. Maybe they say at this time we're not tuning to upgrades. And okay, sure, that's technically true. It's the best kind of true. But raid 2 of a 2-raid cycle, you need that. But I was able to get 3 of my ships to U2, 1 not upgraded because it was my countermeasure ship, and 1 to U3 from buying the kits from raids and pillage. I used, I think I bought upgrade tokens from a store at some point, a first pillage maybe. Just a few, but I still had the time. And I missed out on some tokens for a TLC I didn't do. So you can do it with no coin. It's not that hard, but they really do need it now. All the way to U3, which is a lot of kits.
Yeah, and it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. I was surprised. I got 3 to U2 and then 1 to U3. And I also have that as my 5th ship for the extra survival, but it just seems to be too much damage concentrated on one ship. It doesn't allow you to hit multiple targets if you have a ship specified for that for the ballistic damage.
You probably got to put a coin of repair on it, if not more. And I think that's the real reason why they're doing this.
Yeah.
Combine that with. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think at this point in time, a lot of players feel disenfranchised that we're not part of the that didn't
Flaw.
yes
Exploit.
weren't able to exploit the design flaw by Kickside. So because people don't like the word exploit and they prefer to call it a design flaw. I consider it to be both. Because exploit isn't necessarily a bad term.
I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
So I knew about it too late.
Yeah. So
I'm not going to comment.
I'm just a little annoyed that it was $250,000. I didn't know that number until you just mentioned it. But that's a target. That's a whole target. I wouldn't.
It was 260,000, so it was more than the target.
Yeah, if it was 80 or 100,000, then it's okay. Then it's an opportunity cost of time grinding out that little bit over and over and finding ones that other people have cored out. Essentially, they've taken those first few buildings, and weighing that, it's okay. I'd rather just play the actual game for a while than go away for a couple of hours. But that's a lot. I could have been done. I don't mind that I don't have the tokens.
Well, you wouldn't find them cored out because once there's nobody in the target, it resets.
So you could just sit outside the 901. You could sit outside the 901, kill that, wait 10 minutes it was, that's the timeout, then go straight back in, do it again.
Well,
so you didn't have to move.
Yeah, you didn't have to go.
And some people had 15 ships out. We won't mention anybody.
You wouldn't know their name, would you, Lassie?
No, I wouldn't know them at all.
You're just covering the target. You're just covering the target with your massive ships. It's just this giant cluster, and they can't click on it. That sounds stupid.
You take 15 ships, and you spread them out and find 15 901s, and then every 10 minutes, you just boom, 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 put the ships back in, wait 10 minutes, and by the time you cycle through 15 ships, you're probably back to
number
well,
one.
That's exactly what I heard. You put the first one in.
Well, you can neither confirm nor deny.
By the time you've actually put the 15th one in, when you come out, the first one's finished. So then by the time you put the first one back in, the second one's finished, and so on and so on and so on. So I've heard it's a continuous thing. Well, I heard it was a continuous thing.
It was a continuous. And
the Legion Centipede.
And those players we don't know any of their names.
Crack it up.
The Legion Centipede. Just the continuous stream.
They were getting 3.9 million points every 10 minutes.
That's the shit. Okay, I gotta go, guys. Have fun.
Alrighty.
He's lost it.
Later. So, yeah. So I'm gonna post the link again. We got another open spot, but I don't know. It seems like if Stormcatcher says he didn't know about it, and Lego I see out there didn't know about it. There's a lot of disheartened players as far as the fact that now you have to grind through these targets that appear to be a little bit onerous on your. Some people are doing well with them and getting, half hour of damage for each target. But that's a whole different thing than, what, certain people got that we've heard stories about. So I don't know. It seems me and Stormcatcher, I think, are the only ones in this group that fit into that category. So, alrighty. So nobody has any. Well, and Kenny didn't know about it either. So
I'll admit I used it.
mhm.
You know, I'm not going to deny it.
Yeah.
I used it,
Yeah.
but I didn't abuse it like a lot of people.
Okay.
You know,
There's
I
no
said-
abuse. It was out there. It's I don't put it anywhere as I don't put it anywhere as the fault of any single player or any players as a group. This was something that was put out by Kixeye. It wasn't QA'd. They didn't take a look at very simple mechanics of the game to test this. And so, of course, the players are going to go out there and do this. So,
I mean,
I don't consider it a negative on the players. I just consider that Kixeye's solution was less than elegant. They left it on the map for 24 hours. A lot of people didn't know about it in that 24 hours. They could have, looked at the analytics after 1 hour and go, something's fucked up. We're going to shut this down. And so there wouldn't be the huge disparity.
YSD, they've got a noise going on in the background. I see his thing flashing every now and again. Thank you.
but it's human nature when they find something like that, as the gamer, to take advantage of it.
Well, I remember. I
But
can't remember what raid it was.
It's what I'm saying. It's not the player's fault at all.
Right.
What I'm saying is they shouldn't have released it. They shouldn't have released it that way. Once they found out, they should have shut it down, and then they let it run long enough that there's now this huge gap of people that knew about it and people that didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And a lot of players are quite upset at this point in time.
And I don't blame them ones for being upset.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I remember a few years ago, I can't remember which raid it was. There was a target that you went into, and all you had to do was kill like the first couple of buildings. If you came out, you actually received the full amount of points, which was like it was a high target. So it was a top level target. You only had to kill a couple of buildings. You come out and you got the whole points, the whole target. That took them a little while. That took them about a day to work out.
Mm-hmm.
But if people find these, I mean, obviously someone originally went in there and go, hang on a minute, why am I getting so many points for this one? Who would go in there to start with and just kill one building and retreat and wait 10 minutes to see if they're going to get that amount of points? So someone must have known about it.
Yeah, what are you saying? That was in a preview server?
No, I'm not saying it was in a preview. So I'm not saying anything. But someone must have known. Who would go in there and just kill that one building?
Well, maybe they went in. I could see a process where somebody went in with the scoundrel, fucked it up, died right away, and like, look how many points I got. Well, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah,
They might have died like pretty much instantly, and just were like, let's go see what's going on here. How would that many points end up in the front end of this target anyways?
That's right. Why would you have 260,000 in the front?
Yeah.
Because yes, I did it too. I will admit it. I did it.
But or you just know somebody that is also in Australia that did it.
But right, I killed that building, and I thought to myself, okay, if I'm getting 260 out of this first building, let's kill a few more turrets. Because there's a few turrets around there, right? And see how many extra points I get for it. I came out and I killed like another 5 turrets. I killed that building plus 5 turrets, and I still only got 260,000 points. The turrets weren't worth anything, but the building was.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that even work? Is all the points in the buildings, not the turrets? Is that what they're trying to say?
It just sounds like lazy programming to me. It was easier to put all the points in the 5 objects than to spread them all out.
Yeah. We'll put 260 in each of them, and we'll make it because the whole target itself is worth 800,000.
Well, that's more than that's a third, isn't it? 260. Yeah, it's pretty much a third, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Maybe there's the third one.
So I don't know. It was, I don't know. It felt like yeah, it's pretty much a third. It felt like a noob mistake. But yeah, in their way that they've fixed it doesn't feel equitable to a lot of people, and I do understand. And but like I said, the players that have those points, most of them are still need to go out and hit targets in order to get the shards for the bladed pinion missile. So
the one good thing was last raid we could pick up X amount of them as well. So I got all mine from the last raid. Well, not all of them. I've got a couple from this one, but so I'm not even worrying about them at the moment because they're going to drop somewhere else later on.
Yeah, but you know, I think
the majority.
I think a lot of players that did this weren't, you know, the most high-end players. I mean, it's just across the board. You know, all you need to do was have an eradicator, and you could do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if anyone hasn't seen, it says at the top of the screen now, Pirates, no. Based on feedback, we've decreased the damage in the 901 co-op target to make it more accessible and enjoyable.
Yep.
Team up and good luck.
Yeah, I actually, after this came out, I was trying to, because I've talked to a lot of people have contacted me with how upset they were. And I did ask for, not the 901, I asked that they, to allow those players to have fun in the targets and not feel like they've lost out, is to lower the unavoidable damage in the 124 and the 126.
Yeah, because doing it in the 901, there's still a lot of players that can't do that.
Yeah.
Where they might at least be able to have a go at the 124 and 126.
Yes.
Because if they haven't got the scoundrel, and they can't get in that 901 anyway.
Yeah, and I'm not asking them to reduce the damage across the board, just the UAV damage, which is unavoidable and just forces player. And because a lot of people are just sort of giving up because they feel like they got screwed. So if they found the targets enjoyable, like, okay, I'm doing better and better on this target because I'm avoiding the launchers, I'm avoiding the throwers, you know,
I'm taking minimal damage now, not unavoidable.
Yeah, they're taking damage that can't be avoided, and so it's, you know, not a lot of fun to just run into that wall and still have to sit around for 35 minutes, 40 minutes repairing. So, I don't know. Has anybody hit the 901 since you brought it up? Has anybody hit a 901 since the change?
Actually, I have. Oh, today, no. Since they stopped design flaw, I tried one.
Okay.
And yeah,
design flaw.
Yeah. Okay, you did try one?
Yeah, I killed up to the first blue screw you gun.
Mm-hmm.
And I got 0 points for it.
That's what I said. See, there's nothing in those turrets at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's proving my point. Now they've taken the 260 off that first building, you get nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, if you don't complete it, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And there are videos out there that mostly been, from what I can tell, people in the test servers that are making these videos. But you know, if you do them with somebody else, if there is somebody that is able to hit these targets and do it efficiently, just somebody sitting in that target with them will automatically get 1 million. If they've already completed an S set, they'll get another 250,000. So if somebody figures out how to do the 901s by themselves or with a modicum of assistance, if you have any friends, they just sitting in there if you have any, they're going to get 1.25 million in points, just from hanging out. So it's FYI.
I mean,
So I don't know.
I just feel bad for the ones that were not able to.
Yeah. It's YSD, were you able to get those points? I don't know. So, I don't know. Anybody else? Kenny, have you improved on any of these targets since Wednesday?
One comment I wanted to make, so it's hard to compare. Yes, I've improved, but I did the U3 stuff. Remember, before the show, I told you I grabbed the tokens in order to throw the U3 on the 5th ship, because I had the same repair time that somebody on the show just mentioned, a little over 2 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and that was with U2. I threw U3 on it, and now I'm down to about an hour and a half. So it did improve the 5th ship by 25 minutes, which is significant. And
Which target, the 124 or the 126?
the reference improved both of them, but the ones I'm quoting are the 124s.
Okay, go ahead.
So I went from a little over 2 hours, like 2 hours and 15 minutes, to an hour and 35 minutes, which is a big improvement.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be Kenny learning how to drive a little better, but it was I think it was mostly the U3. I lied. I also put a 3 more countermeasures on the 5th boat.
So how many do you have total now?
5 on it.
5 total across the fleet?
No, 5 and 4. So
No, you have 9 on the fleet?
5 on the 5th ship and 4 on the flag. So that's 9. I think there might be 1 more somewhere, so a total of 10.
Wow.
Well, you want to try something, Jeff?
What's that?
We'll
Both answered.
both Ottawa 124.
Both auto, so we have a reference.
Yeah, because I mean, besides the massive amount of sprints, and yours are all at U3. You're both all at U3, or just
The 5th boat is U3.
okay? And Ben, you're all U3, right?
All U3, yes.
Okay, and you have 5 sprints.
Yes.
Okay, and Kenny has Jeff has 10. Do we know? Otherwise, your builds are sort of similar.
Well, we can compare them.
Okay. Well, I'm up for it if you guys are.
Sure, autoing is something I can do without too much effort.
It does take practice. Some people are really good at it. Some people need a little practice.
I'll go set up for an auto of 1.
Okay.
Did you want to compare builds first or do the target first?
Well, let's do the compare builds first. The question I have: should we put no crew on it so that it's equal, or?
I'm not going to run a crew.
Okay, I'll run no crew as well and see what happens.
Yeah, because I am interested with the 10, the 10 sprints. I do find that interesting.
Excessive.
Well, because eventually you're taking away so much firepower that it's diminishing returns to the countermeasure. And then there's also, I don't know, as far as how many people actually want to auto them, because the 124, you go and it's like I haven't figured it out. I mean, I've tried to zoom through because it's like a hot box. If you sit there in the middle, there's UAVs everywhere. So I've tried different methods to zoom through it, go out to the right and kill them from the outside, so I'm not getting fired from all these angles. But
Yeah, there isn't a good path or anything. I just try and keep tight circles going and take out the UAVs as fast as possible, and that's about it.
okay, well, all Are you guys ready to compare? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, neither one of yours are sharing screens, so
Okay.
I mean, either that or you guys can talk about your specials and whatnot as far as what the difference.
It's better to be on the screen. So as soon as I got it up, I'll
Okay.
share. Okay. So share screen.
All right.
Okay. And we want to look at. Okay. So let's just go with the crazy one I just created. There's the 5 sprints with
Okay.
the hydro atomizer trying to help it out.
Okay.
The one thing I couldn't do because I didn't have without swapping armor all over the place is I wanted to put 3 Cs and 1 R, but
Yeah.
on the 5th ship, but I didn't have any more armor,
Okay.
so I couldn't swap that out. I was thinking about stealing it from one of the other ships and swapping the other one back or something, but didn't do that yet. Okay, good old ballistic sync drive,
Mm-hmm.
ballistic battery, of course,
Mm-hmm.
nuke accelerator 3, welded barrel, high velocity rounds,
Okay.
and hydroatomizer.
Okay. Ben, do you have high velocity rounds or do you have lowered cannon mount?
I have lowered cannon mount on all mine,
Oh, well, that should help.
except
No.
the counterboat. That one
Yeah,
I had,
have Hyper 30 on, right?
Huh?
That one you have Hyper 30 on, right?
actually no,
What do you have?
subaquatic propellant.
Okay, so you're missing the speed advantage.
Yeah,
Okay. Just making sure.
But-
My intent is to put the weapons back on this lead boat, and then get rid of subaquatic. That's all I had at the time. But let's see what happens.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like we'll go to Ben's screen here.
this is the counterboat.
Okay.
I got the hydro atomizer nozzle,
Hmm.
the subaquatic, welded barrels,
Yeah.
nuke 3,
Mhm.
ballistic sync drive, and HBR.
Okay.
The armors are 2 and 2,
Mhm.
ballistic and radial, 1 tyrant and 5 sprints.
Okay. And what do you have on your fifth ship?
All right. The 5th ship is built like the rest of them, pretty much, except the armor's different.
Yeah.
All ballistic armor, all tyrants.
Yeah. That's the same build I have on my fifth ship.
The specials are the ballistic sync drive, ballistic battery, lowered cannon mount 1, welded barrels, nuke 3, and fast feed magazine.
Yeah, I have
Doesn't
that.
that make it a different speed than your countermeasure ship?
No, because of the
Sync
sync
drive.
drives.
Sync drives, but yeah,
Oh,
he's losing some of the speed with the lowered
it
cannon mount.
slows the entire fleet down. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, I've got that build on my 5th ship, right, with all the ballistic armor.
Yeah.
And sometimes I accidentally put the wrong one in the 5th ship, because you're pulling them out you're removing them to repair them, and put them back in. I'll put them back in the wrong order. But the 5th ship takes the same amount of damage no matter what armor I have on it.
Now, see, I've had a different experience.
I can't work it out.
What's your experience, Ben?
As long as I keep the 4 ballistic armor in the 5th spot, it does not die. I put one of the other ones in, it's dead.
Oh, mine don't die. They just have the same amount of damage.
That's weird because I had the even damage, and then now I'm 5th ship only damage. It seems to have switched back and forth on me.
All right.
All right, so let's hit them.
wants to go first, since we know what there's differences here beyond the 10 sprints.
Yeah, it won't be as good as an experiment.
Who goes first?
You, since you're already sharing.
All right.
What are we hitting?
124 on auto.
Oh, no, no. Yeah.
Mr. Lag lots here.
And that's supposed to be the auto target.
Yes. The auto friendly.
Yeah, auto friendly. My ass.
And this is for Lady Cat if she's watching, because I told her I would do it on this show.
There doesn't seem to be a good path for this thing. It's just sort of like do circles. You're actually stopping. I always try and do little circles the whole time.
Well, it's on auto,
Yeah.
so it's going to stop.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? You're doing auto?
Normally, if I'm driving it, I just stack down here and shoot right up here and take all this stuff out up here.
So you don't do the circles either anyway.
And then I come back down and around, do this, and then
I've never seen an auto my ships split up like this, so it might be another one of those experiments where the pathing matters too. Like why?
Okay, the problem there is the reason they've split up. Well, I'm going to take a guess. The reason they've split up is that one number 4 ship's got one of them must have a different range.
yeah, the number 4 has a longer range.
Yeah, number 4 would have that's your countermeasure ship then.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why it's split up, because it can pick up something a little bit further away.
Yeah. There's no LCM on this one.
Well, what's it doing? It's just hanging out.
Yeah, because now there's a building over on the left hand side it's shooting at, and it can't kill it because there's only one weapon on it.
Oh, I have a feeling Kenny might do better on
And
this.
this is another reason. Well, I don't auto anyway, but that's why I did the flag, because the flag has the 2 packs as my counter ship, so it has a reasonable amount of damage output. But so now your counter ship's sitting over there all by itself, and the rest have gone off with no counters on them.
Yes.
Yeah, this is not a good experiment at all now.
Well, it is because of the way it's set up, but yeah.
There's nothing comparable to my autoing though, because my countermeasure ship will stay with them.
You hope.
Actually, I haven't seen it since I changed it.
You got to wait and see what happens.
And this is why I'm thinking of taking the LCM-1 off of my other 4.
Is that ship 5 that's almost dead there?
Probably.
It doesn't look like it's going to make it, or just barely.
Where's he gone? You can't see it.
Yeah, you need to scroll over, Ben, or else people.
Or zoom out. Just zoom out.
Okay, there we go.
That way you can see everything. You see the whole screen.
Now it's going to finally come back and help the countermeasure ship complete its task.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's going to go over there and let the countermeasure
Go.
ship keep pinging away. That poor countermeasure ship is half dead, and it's just sitting there. Yeah,
The countermeasure ship's doing better than the 5th ship, and it's underneath a rocket, a launcher, plus probably those UAVs were shooting at it as well, weren't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess you probably already discussed the lower cannon mount sort of threw it off because of the different ranges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
What, you weren't watching the show?
I'm going to get it here.
God, don't you hate it when people don't watch the show?
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm choking.
See, that'll teach you.
Yeah, fuck up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said when they first split up, or when they split up. I said that was probably why, because that was his counter ship.
Yeah.
And the range on that one missile threw it all off.
Or cannon, either way.
50 resisted, 6 taken ballistic. 30,
That is a load of crap.
That report is useless.
39 resisted, 5 taken radio.
Why is that, Aussie?
How can you only take 5% damage when the whole ship is dead?
Well, 5% of the damage that came out.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
2
Yeah.
hours.
What? And only 6% the other, so I only took 11%.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
So,
it?
Yeah, if you put in a naked ship with no survival, which is impossible to do, you know, because they all come with survival and all the stacking bonuses, armors, and everything else. So, yeah.
2 hours, 41 minutes, 48 seconds.
Okay.
And you lost number 5.
I don't think I'm gonna have too much trouble beating that one.
Hey, Kenny.
Oh.
Hey,
Kenny's talking crap. Let's see what's going on now.
It's on.
Yeah.
Hey, at least there's one thing. If he crashes, it doesn't matter because it's on auto anyway.
Yeah. Well,
So he can't play. I crashed. That's why I died.
All right, we ready?
yeah.
Trash talk. I better.
Now you are hitting a 901, aren't you?
Y'all are really cracking up.
Now remember, it's on auto. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Well, you can click the little let's go, but sometimes if you click that let's go, sometimes the damn thing targets something.
Yeah,
You've got to be careful.
Yeah, now he tells me after.
No, it doesn't happen very often.
But one ship's taken off on its own.
As long as they've all got the same range, you should be all right.
So this is where most of the damage from auto is, those blue guys just pounding the heck out of you when you're not moving.
Yeah, the cannibal Wendigos.
Cannonballs.
Cannibal.
Cannibal. Yeah.
Cannonballs.
Kenny's got balls.
Well, as usual, ship 5's taking a beating.
Yeah.
You can see there.
But I think you haven't split up yet.
No, it looks like they're going to stay together.
Yeah, they should stay now. See, the problem was where they stopped down in those right-hand mountains, Ben's counter ship, having the longer range, targeted something on the left, and the others couldn't target that, and something closer was on the right. So they moved to the right while the other one was still shooting on the left.
Mm-hmm. I still
And
don't
then
know.
once they split up, that was the end of it.
But it looks like ship 5's going to be nearly dead by the end of this.
Well, see, except for now, the issue is because sometimes you get overwhelmed with the UAVs, and you're less likely to get overwhelmed, I think, with the 10. But it's going to be hard to tell if the 10 sprints are going to. Oh, it's moving, taking that move. Okay.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
But at least the bees aren't circling. Like it is shooting a lot of them down.
Yeah.
But like there's only.
At least they don't sit there trying to hit those UAVs over the mountains, through the mountains.
Yeah, that would have been a bad bug.
Mm.
We've had targets that.
Hang on, why did it drive straight past that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you targeting?
No.
Unless he was closer. Yeah, he drove by that one, but he was probably when it drove by, even though the mountains were there, was he closer? But that was weird.
That shouldn't have mattered. That was weird. Yeah.
I think there's a little A or something above them when they're autoing, or
No,
there's
the little computer.
a little computer screen there, so you know I'm not driving. Although that resolution.
Yeah, blah blah.
You could probably be.
But it drove past that one as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
it must have been because the others were closer. I don't know. That is a bit weird.
but it looks like ship 5 is barely going to make it, which is
It'll do all right. I think it might survive.
There's no. I have no worries on ship 5.
Because you're pretty much out of UAVs. There's only 3 or 4 left.
yeah. That's where most of the damage is over.
And most of it's done. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. He still hasn't done the right side, which is okay.
Yeah, there's only 4. Well, there's only a few on the other side, but it's not that many.
Yeah, but he's not going to get overwhelmed with them because
Yeah.
that's what I was saying earlier. Like once you're in that, go up to that center part, you got UAVs firing at you from every angle.
I know that's a prick of a spot.
Yeah, that's why I
That
tried to
gauntlet.
hit him by like
type thing.
zooming right through it, but that doesn't always seem to work.
Yeah, I think they've put way too many UAVs in that center there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
In that whole area, there's going to be like 10 of them just in that little. If you get right in the center, there's probably like 10 shooting at you, firing.
That's why I thought 10 UAVs or 10 CMs was a good idea. But
Oh, now it's going to go down there. It's really taking a shitty path. That's got to be the worst path in history. It's decided to take.
Otto's doing
But it's
worse.
working. It's actually working.
Yeah. So
By the way, there's actually 5, 4, that's 9, 10, 11, 12 countermeasures on this fleet.
okay.
So I really thought it would shoot down the nasty UAVs, or most of them. But it's all active.
Fifth ship survived.
Yeah. It's still have plenty left.
Tell you what, just under a quarter.
That's it.
Good job. Kenny's getting better.
Yeah,
He is.
he's working on his auto skills.
What do you got on your things? I can't see.
So
It's too small.
5% taken, and then 7% taken.
Okay, so and Dingy and Ben got 5 and 6.
Yeah.
But he lost a ship.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It just doesn't make sense.
2 hours, 22 minutes.
Okay, but the difference was
20 minutes, wasn't it?
yeah.
And his stayed together.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
That's
it's-
why. If yours
What
had
was-
stayed together, you
What
might
was his damage?
have been 241. I think
Yeah.
it was.
I expected a bigger difference.
Yeah, yours is more spread out.
But
Hmm.
I guess I win the bet at least. I was
Oh, there
nervous.
was a bet. I missed the bet.
Oh no!
It was a
Well,
bet?
another one of the Ben bets where we don't actually put any money on
Okay.
it.
It's called a gentleman's bet.
Yes.
Daryl, 1 hour
Oh,
20 on auto.
You're betting gentlemen, but yeah. Daryl,
So explain it.
how is your build much different than these ones?
Daryl,
Daryl. Yeah.
Why does he?
come on the show.
What
Get on the
is he
show.
recording as damage for Otto? So we all done then?
I think so. I'm not sure what I don't know
We didn't prove anything.
because of the way that things broke up. I'm not certain that we know if
Well, we know 13 countermeasures really doesn't help you that much because the 4 that took off without any countermeasure support didn't take much more damage without countermeasures. So
That's
countermeasure,
right, because Ben's countermeasure ship wasn't even with the rest of them.
yeah, so it was useless and he only took 20 minutes more damage, which means that Hefe's theory that I just decimated my fleet, I probably should be taking down turrets faster instead of worrying about UAVs. That's my conclusion from this, that the countermeasures are doing squat.
Oh. I'll do a 124. I've got a different build. We'll see how mine goes.
okay.
Hang on, I gotta find the screen. Hang on. Hang on, where do I get to the other screen? Hang on.
Okay. Put it back on Kenny.
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna clear that one and start again because it's a different
Okay.
different window.
Okay. Chuck is asking full alliance buffs. Is there a difference between you guys in
I
far
have
as,
no alliance buffs at all.
Your browser has blocked your screen. What?
I'm maxed
okay?
my buffs.
And Aussie doesn't have any buffs, so if he beats them
Why is it? It's blocked my screen for some reason. Your browser has blocked your screen. Click.
It's trying to save your fleet.
yeah.
Okay, click this. Okay. Why has it done that? It didn't do that last time. Turn on.
We might go over a first look Pegasus builds in a bit, but we talked a little bit about that on Wednesday. Is basically, I'm assuming corrosive sync drive, if you have them available, because people don't have pen sync drive. Don't put on more than 4 or 5 missiles, and then I would try and wait as much until Friday as far as doing a lot with your builds. I would put a battery, a pen battery on it, things like that. And then if you have the limited, what's the name of the limited?
Bearing system or
rapid roller bearings. Put things on like that are safe until we see what's going on. I wouldn't put the CICs on until later. So, but yeah, we can talk about more of that later. Okay, you ready, Aussie?
Hang on, I'm just refreshing my screen. I thought it better.
How you doing there, Judge Steele? Okay. Let me know when you're ready, Aussie.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for this stupid thing to load. It's taking forever. Why is it taking so long? Well, here we go. Get through all these screens. All right, where are we? Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
124.
I was worried if I was going to have to get a beer before you hit the target.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Now,
for
the reason
damn thing to
The reason why it's taking Ozzy so long is because he exploited the 901s.
Things lagging around. Hang on, here we go.
Well,
Here we go.
I seem to like that people did that, so it's all good.
Kicks, I liked Aussie doing it.
Why? I didn't do anything. It didn't cost me anything. It doesn't cost me anything.
All them other blitzers, though.
Yeah, that's true. It makes the blitzers eventually coin. All right, let's see what happens with this. 4 days later. Why did that one zoom in front? Oh, it killed the building. That's why.
So you have 5 sprints on this one?
6.
6, okay.
Because it's on my flag, so I can use the packs as the 2 actual weapons on that ship. See which path mine takes.
And since you're driving, do you mind popping out what the ship so we can see what's happened with
that?
Yeah.
Sorry. Hang on, why is it on 1?
Well, because you don't have them all selected. Push the arrow up. There you go.
They should have all been selected. Yeah, number 5's already taken a beating.
Are you running LCM1 or on yours or no?
No, I took it off yesterday. Thought I'd try it without it, see what happens. So all these have the extended range.
All right.
See, now why would it turn around? Oh, that stupid building at the top. It was right next to the UAV and it turned around, did a U-turn.
Yeah. It's they have a mind of their own.
Yeah, so now let's see if it drives straight past like it did with
Jeff.
Yeah, see, look, it's driving past that as well.
Yep.
Yep.
Drove
That's
past
what it
both
is.
of them. And there's no
I-
way in hell you were closer to those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my fifth ship's not doing too well either.
Now that you got that group of three, I think it's going to be okay. But that group of three is.
It's barely going to make it though, just like mine.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah,
well-
but there's still 3 UAVs up the top there. It's got to come around too. It'll be.
Yeah.
It's going to be about the same, I think. At least it looks a bit the same. About.
Oh, see, it
It really doesn't.
gun out.
Really doesn't know what it wants to do there.
It took the one gun out. Jeff didn't.
Yeah, did it?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had one left up there.
one of the UAV turrets.
Hmm.
There must be minor variations in where it starts, the target, or something weird. Because
I think
otherwise,
it's the way they spun around. They spun, so it might have. No, I don't know.
You got more firepower than he does.
Yeah,
Mm.
a lot more. Yeah.
So that's probably why it took that turret. You know, when it turned, it took the turret out.
Yeah.
Now it's going to go inside like,
Yeah, he's gonna do what? He's gonna go in the center.
it's union work.
U-turn.
damn women drivers.
Yeah, see, it took out all those UAVs, those off those 2. Oh,
I
missed
can't
that one.
believe you just said that on the air. Now, Hefe is going to have to listen to all kinds of YouTube commenters.
No. Just his wife.
She's sleeping.
Okay. All right. The big reveal.
All right, so what do I get? I got 4 taken and 7 taken. To our 6.
Okay.
Best time.
So,
That means countermeasures
Oh,
are.
and look, that wasn't. Hang on. Oh, that's right. I changed that one last night as well. I put 1 radioactive on that one as well. When I changed the lower cannon mount.
okay. So that might be the reason you're not seeing a big difference if it's 3 and 1 versus 2 and 2.
Mm. Yeah, well, that one I had 4 ballistic on before.
Okay.
But then the rest of them, when I had the others in slot 5, they were taking pretty much the same amount of damage as the one with all ballistic. So I thought, well, I might as well swap them back the other way. Seeing the lower cannon mount, swapping it to high velocity rounds was less than a day. You know, it was only like 10 hours. So I thought, well, I might as well throw another armor on there to make up the whole token.
Okay.
It was like 19 hours, but yeah. See, so I swapped all the lower cannon mounts for high velocity rounds, and then my flag. That's my flag. Oh, my flag has all ballistic.
Yeah, which doesn't really need it, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened there, but anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Well, no, yesterday when I was hitting some targets, number 5 and number 1 were taking a whole bunch of damage. They were both taking the same amount of damage for some reason. I don't understand
we
why.
talked about
But
that.
we run through that yesterday. Originally, I couldn't work out why, but then we run through that.
Yeah, it's
But
because
see, now I haven't got lower cannon mount on the rest, so they've all got the same range.
yeah.
But ever since I did that, that number 1 ship hasn't been taking that damage like it was before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I'll take you.
And I
off
got
of-
2 shards.
Very nice. Is there anything else we have? People were asking about thoughts on the Pegasus build. I talked about it briefly as far as basically wait for the VXP weekend besides a couple of specials that are obvious? Anybody else have any thoughts?
No telling what they're going to put out in the FM.
They're going to put out a
Zitium isotope armors.
they're going to put out a missile one, and they're going to put out a corrosive one, and who knows? They're going to put out a new engine. I don't know. I'm not even sure if I want them to, because
I'm just going to run through the damage on my fleet. The flag took 20 minutes.
Okay.
Right. The next 3 ships took 16 minutes. 2, 3, and 4 took 16 minutes each.
Okay, that makes sense.
And the number 5 took an hour and 11.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
but why would the flag then take?
Because you have
4
all
minutes
ballistic
more.
on it. It was taken.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. No worries. Okay.
So,
Wasn't there an assault engine put out during the Saturn and the Nemi raid?
Yeah, the assault engine is the poor cousin of the Sync Drive. Yeah. So it's out there. I'm not, I haven't looked at comparing it, but it's not. It wouldn't be a top end engine for this, I don't think.
Are you still sharing mine? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. That's all right. Okay. So let's have a look. What we go on? Engine movement. Movement. This one? No. Yeah, that one there.
Yeah.
So looking at 86. So it's pretty slow compared to if they do a sync drive. What sync drive? This one. 95.
Yeah.
Infantry survival 1221. It was 711. So you lose another 500 in survival.
Yeah, like I said, it's not the high end.
At the time, it was all right.
No, because it came out at the same time as the sync drives.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it came out before. Okay.
No. But it came out as unlimited while the other ones were limited.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I don't know. Do we have much else? I put the link on the right-hand side in case anybody'd like to join. Okay. Well, Daryl, you still haven't told us what's different about your build that much. So I don't know what to comment on that. So if we don't have much else, I guess we can proceed to the after show, unless anybody else has anything they'd like to discuss. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay.
I'm low on res. Does that help?
Yeah, from building ships. So yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
This is number 3. I've got number 3 building at the moment.
Okay.
Oh no! This is. Hang on. Wait a minute. Oops, wrong button. Didn't build. Yeah, this is number 3. One more after this. But that was all from previous raids or whatever where I've ended up with tokens for assaults or TLCs or whatever they were.
Yeah, I still have a fair amount of tokens for these, but yeah, I'm not gonna get too involved with them until we can,
Yeah, I'm just getting them out of the way.
Yeah.
Oops. For some reason that won't scroll down. Yeah, so you've still got 8 days. So people can use the T8 assault build tokens and plus obviously assault class tokens as well. So people can use the T8 assault.
Okay. Daz, if you have anything to say before we end the live stream, you need to mute your YouTube. So. Alrighty. Well, I guess if we don't have anything else at this moment, I'm going to end the show and see y'all soon. And hopefully they'll make some sort of changes to these targets to make it easier for people to catch up with what was going on with the 901. So, all right, everybody.
All right, everyone.
You know,
Everyone have a good one. Enjoy the raid if you're doing it. And
Yeah.
don't exploit the new Praetorian targets next week.
Yes. Okay. All right. Later, everybody.
See ya.
yeah.
Later.